Welcome back. It is Friday, November 3rd, 2023. We're at week 192. Really busy this week with global unrest, more Cloudflare outages, Okta compromises, Boeing hit with ransomware, a cryptocurrency CEO conviction, and probably the most talked about in this space, an SEC charge against the SolarWinds CISO. Also, Bellingcat shared an article titled Separating Fact from Fiction on Social Media in Times of Conflict. In times of crisis, social media is flooded with images, videos, and bold claims, which can be useful for researchers, but overwhelming for the general public just trying to figure out which is true. Few tips were: 1, be cautious. Treat all footage and claims with caution. Sometimes real footage can be attributed to false claims and vice versa. 2, think critically, particularly about big incendiary claims. When big news stories hit, we see a lot of recycled footage posted on social media. Recycled footage is footage from other conflicts or time periods that are published as if they are from the current event. 3, check the source. Responsible researchers will always name the source of the footage or that they share or analyze. Too often the footage is going to go viral without a source, let alone an original one, and just be cautious if the source of the video or the claim is unclear. 4, remember that the same location doesn't mean the same incident. Even if the footage is from the area, it doesn't mean it's from the same event. 5, be savvy to manipulation and AI generation. When all the footage or photographs connected to an event go viral, you often see accounts pop up distributing the manipulated or altogether fake imagery. Free and easy to use AI-powered image generation tools have now made this type of content super fast to create and really common. It's not always accurate, but tools like AI or not can help disprove some of those claims. 6, be cautious of state actors, which sometimes share staged or unreliable footage. In times of conflict, it is not uncommon for state actors to imply bad faith on the part of their adversaries. So in some cases, staged videos appear online. 7, know that sometimes news organizations get it wrong. When you discover new claims about footage, always check for a secondary media source, ideally one that's been obtained independently from the first source. News organizations and leading figures can sometimes use quotes from each other as sources of information, and sometimes verification steps can slip through the cracks. 8, by all means, protect your mental health. Watching footage from war zones can cause trauma. Be careful viewing unknown footage. There's almost always an abundance of highly disturbing content circulating during these times of conflict, so be safe. Security Magazine also shared guarding against social engineering attacks. Social engineering attacks are on the rise, and despite increased awareness, human error is still the most successful gateway for most data breaches today. No matter how many security tools security leaders deploy and maintain the safeguard of our data and the organization, the biggest vulnerability is going to stay through humans. For those of you less familiar with the term, social engineering is an attack that uses deception or manipulation to access confidential information or systems. It's a kind of ploy, and its goal is to make users give up their passwords or other private information through phone calls, messages, or emails. Social engineers may also use legitimate credentials from other sources, such as the dark web or social media, to tailor their attacks to their victims. The 2 most common types of social engineering attacks today are phishing and pretexting. Phishing is a deceptive technique where cybercriminals impersonate someone known or a trusted organization to trick them into revealing sensitive information, such as usernames, passwords, credit card numbers, or personal identification information. Pretexting is a little bit more elaborate, involves the creation of a fabricated scenario or a pretext to manipulate the users into disclosing sensitive information. Unlike phishing, which usually relies on impersonation, pretexting often consists of building a false narrative or a story to gain a person's trust and access their data. And while phishing and pretexting are distinct tactics, they often overlap. For instance, a phishing email may incorporate pretexting elements by including a fabricated story or scenario to request more legitimate and convincing information. In such cases, the attack can be described as a blend of both techniques. Social engineering attacks are often successful because they exploit our human weaknesses. They rely on the attacker or attackers manipulating our emotions or using deception to get what they want. They work on building trust and exploiting our emotions. Social engineering attacks also take advantage of human vulnerabilities, but there are other factors that cyber criminals count on whenever launching an attack. One is ignorance and the other is arrogance. Focuses on our lack of cybersecurity awareness or our overconfidence in the technology. And while there's not much we can do about human nature, we can train our instincts and change our habits and strengthen our cybersecurity defense mechanisms and make our responses less impulsive. So to help mitigate the risks, employ cybersecurity training and education, implement strong authentication methods, raise awareness through simulations and drills, and try to limit personal information available to hackers by prioritizing your privacy and limiting your digital footprint. Some future social engineering trends that we're keeping an eye on are artificial intelligence and machine learning, of course, and privacy concerns and ethical considerations. I'll link it for you. Also, executive security habits are shockingly bad compared to the average worker. And some not so fun statistics. Almost half, or 49% of CXOs, were reported to have requested to bypass one or more of their organization's security procedures in the past year. 1 in 5 leaders have shared their work password with someone outside the company, the study found, and 77% use insecure passwords that include birthdays or pet names. Remember, if I can find it online, you shouldn't use it. Furthermore, around 1/3 of executives admitted to accessing unauthorized work files, and 2 in 3 said that they had the ability to edit those files. The study found that business leaders often display far worse cyber hygiene than other employee groups. For example, 1/3 of leaders reported that they had clicked on a phishing link, which is 4 times the rate of other office workers. CXOs are also 3 times more likely to share work devices with family members and external freelancers compared to other office workers, and more than 1/4, or 27% of executive respondents, said that they allow friends and family to use their work devices at least monthly. This is another reason to use executive digital protection for your executive team. In addition to showing them their vulnerabilities, it really calls out their specific bad habits and kind of addresses them one-on-one. So reach out if I can be helped there. Other than that, OSAC week is coming up in DC, as well as the annual ISF dinner. So please reach out if you're planning to attend and would like to meet up. It would be great to see you all. Other than that, that's what I have for you all this week. I hope everyone is well, staying warm, and looking forward to a fun weekend ahead. I will look forward to seeing all of you next Friday.